Hi guys, this is just a quick overview of ServiceTracker and what we do within the pest control industry and how we basically manage your business kind of inside and out, using a series of reports, dashboards, calendars, consoles and what we call list views to be able to see all of the information in one place. When you first log into the system, you get this big dashboard in front of you, which is entirely customizable. You can put whatever you want in here, and at the moment we've just got things like trending, so this is just standard trend analysis, overdue visits and overdue visits by technician, so you can manage the team, the portfolios, so you can see how many visits each person's doing and what kind of value they're bringing into the business. And then you've got things like quote reports and what's overdue in terms of perhaps an EFK hasn't been inspected in a while, or maybe you've missed a rodent box, or whatever the case may be. You can see it on the screen. You can always click on this view report link as well to access the data, the list of data, but as an overview, this is what you get here. On the right hand side you've got recent records, so this is everything you've been viewing in the system, so you can always quickly get into a record just by clicking on the recent links. You've got a tab bar at the top which gives you access to things like your calendar, which has got a nice key over on the right hand side, so you can see the visit types in the system, and you can drag and drop as well, so you can move things around. You can right click and update things, or you can click into any of the white space and you can start creating new call outs and jobs, contracts, holidays, sicknesses, things like that. So it can manage your entire team. As the guys out in the field are progressing through their visits, they change colour as well. So you can see this one's in progress at the moment, so that person's on site, whereas this visit has just been accepted. And you could have a paused visit or somebody actually completing visits as well, and I'll just show you in here. You've got your links here as well to see the 2 weeks at a time, or what we call a swim lane view, so you can see all of your guys over on the left hand side, drag and drop visits between them, change the dates and times, things like that. You've got your ServiceTracker console, which is a mapping tool to see where all your resources are. So resource is basically technician or operative, whatever you call them. And you can see, if you zoom in, where people have been, where they're going. Okay, and this then gives you a little indication of who's in the area if you wanted to assign a call out, or just keep tabs on everybody. You can also do that with visits as well, so you can see all of your customers and exactly where you're servicing. So this is good for showing you on a map exactly where the guys are heading and what they've got to cover. Moving along through the tabs, you've got things like your clients lists, so you can see all of your clients in one place, your contracts, schedules, all your visits, for example. So show me everything that was completed this week. Okay, you can also create your own views. So this is visits due this week, and you can see who's supposed to be doing it, the status. You can click into it. Anything blue and underlined is a link, so you can click into it and go straight into it and change some dates around, things like that. You can print it off. You can manually allocate things, or you can bulk close down the visits if you know that the technician on site has done them and for whatever reason didn't update the mobile. But essentially a visit is a piece of work that you send down to one of the technicians on a mobile and they then complete it. So I'll click into this visit here and you'll be able to see that the visit is, well, this one's inactive, but the visit is open and it's due on the 28th, and all the details are blank, ready for somebody to fill in. This is completely customizable, so you can see I've got some proofing questions, recommendations, prep and waste, follow-ups, things like that, hygiene and findings. But you can always change these around and you can have your own questions in there. You could put internal notes in there as well, so only your technician could see something that they need to know, like maybe the code for on site or some method statement that you want them to see. We also do the environmental risk assessment, so this is your crew coming out on the service report. But all of this would be filled in on the mobile. As we move across, you've got your reports, so we can see things like the state of service or your cycle reports to see how the guys are doing out in the field. And you can see the percentage that of visits that they've got complete, total number of visits they've got within that cycle, and just keeping tabs on, how is your state of service looking. There's lots and lots and lots of reports in the system, so we could just concentrate on overdue visits, for example, and you can just take a look and you can see, yeah, there's quite a few in this site. It is a demo version. You can see all the different visit types, follow-ups, call-outs, contracts, and you can see exactly where those are and what the dates are, so we can go back and make sure we book those in. You do get this setup area, so you can come into here and you can go, right, okay, change some details around, so I can change my company settings, I can change some of my mobile settings. Okay, this is all configurable. We integrate with Xero as well, so you could integrate with your finance systems if you wanted. Okay, and then the other thing to look out for is the search. So if I wanted to search for a particular site, all you have to do is just type in the first few characters of your search, and it's not kind of specifically looking for postcodes or addresses or anything like that. It'll look in the entire system and it'll bring back all the search results. Similar to the way that your search engines work, it doesn't just look for something in particular, it'll find anything related to your search term. So if I put in pest, for example, I got visits with pest control in, I got some clients with the name pest, I got some attachments with the word pest in it, I got schedules that are looking after pest control, quotes which have been quoted for pest control, products in the system, resources, whatever. All of this it finds. Okay, so very powerful search tool, but ultimately what you want to do is click into one of the records and then you've got the detail in front of you. This is what is typical of a client page, so you'd expect to see everything all in one place. So the top bit is kind of your finance detail, maybe a banner just to notify somebody of what's going on the account. Lots and lots of fields about the customer, and you can add more if you want to, or take things away. Address information, price book information, any kind of mandatory things you need on site, like we need to take a photograph or we need to get a signature, we can add those things in. Then you've got the ServiceTracker module section, which shows you all your contracts, your schedules, your visits, actions, recommendations, alerts, so these are the treatment reports that are being sent out to particular people. Client attachments, so this is all your old visit reports, and maybe you want to put in a site plan, risk assessment, method statements. If you upload something to client attachments, it's available on the mobile for the technician to see. So for example, I can go to visits, look at all the upcoming visits, or I can look at all the completed visits, and then I can simply just click view, and this opens up the PDF treatment report. Okay, and you've got lots of detail in here. We can customize these reports as well. Or you can go into the visit and you can analyze specific records. So we could say on the summary tab, for example, how long did they spend on site? How much travel time did they spend? How many items are they due to inspect? And you can check this out by looking at the tabs at the top. So what prep did somebody use? What inspections did they do? How many actions and recommendations? Where are the notes and attachments? And then you can see the activity history to see what's been emailed out, and basically an audit trail then of what's happened on this particular visit. and you can also see any invoices or quotes that are associated with the visit. Okay, so putting in information, very simple. ServiceTracker calendar, click into one of the squares, go through the process, and it's very straightforward. It's just step by step. What is the name of your client? It then runs away, tries to find information and says there's two similar clients, or I could say create a brand new one anyway. Then it says, is this account correct? Well, yes it is, and we do 3 words as well, by the way. And then you move on to the contact. So do you want to add a new contact record? Nope, not at this time. Do you want to create a new contract or a job? Put in the start date. And then finally, what do you want to do on site? So what product are we providing? Who will be the lead technician? When is the first visit? What are we doing when we're on site? Eight visits per annum, rats, mice, cockroaches. Put in what's covered. What type of scheduling are we going to use? So if we were to say, let's do monthly scheduling, we could save that, and then you can add more information. So you could put in things like rodent monitors, and this is for barcoding and things like that, but I'm just going to click continue without inspections, and then all that does is create me a brand new schedule of visits ready to send to a mobile. Okay, so there's 12 visits because I selected monthly, and there's my next visit, 27th. My day's doing the work, and we're currently on week 13, and this is now ready for somebody to do on the mobile. Okay, and yeah, we can keep tabs on that by clicking the visits, going in and saying what is on this week, for example, and then you'll be able to see all of the details, all of the work that's being carried out, and keep an eye on this as well. So these things should start going down, and then next week then it'll be a brand new list. Okay, we do have another version of ServiceTracker. So this is called the classic version. So you can click on this little icon in the right hand side, switch to Salesforce Classic, and it's the same system but just a different user interface. So you've got your tabs, you've got your search, and instead of going to the calendar and creating visits, you can create them from here on the left hand side. And it's the same process, it just looks a little different. Okay. Some people prefer this, but it's entirely up to you, personal preference. And this is the same process that I just used in what we call Lightning. And there you go, that's the same way that I just created that contract in the Lightning view. And to switch back and forth, it's just this button here, switch to Lightning, I prefer that, or switch to Classic, click, switch to Salesforce Classic. Okay. There's lots and lots the system can do, so we only scratch the surface with this really. We do things like EFK trending, we can do customer portals. So here's just a very quick example of a customer portal, which we would set up with you, make sure that you're happy with it, have your logos and colors, but essentially you could just see all of the service reports, all of the trending, site documents, so things like your site plans. You can also see company documents, So things like your insurances and your health and safety documents, things like that. Or you could get the customers to access all of their completed visits. So they can just come on here. They can do a little search if they want to, but they can just click view and open the PDF report. And it just saves a lot of time in the office because people are directed to the portal instead. So instead of saying, where's my treatment report, or can I have last month's biologist inspection, they can just go on here and they can just see all that information. So yeah, that's just the customer portal. Other things we do, obviously the mobile, there is another video on our YouTube channel for the mobile side, and that all ties nicely in with the system then, so you can see what's going on in the mobile directly from the system. If there are any questions or anything specifically you would like me to cover, just give us a call on 033 022 31022 and we can arrange a demonstration or just have a chat about the system and some of your requirements. Thanks very much for watching.